I am 𝐸𝐤𝐠𝐻𝑒 and I come forward upon the rays of love and wisdom to greet thee at this time and to gift unto thee a most special blessing of awakening. It is with great joy and with great pleasure within our hearts that we gather with you upon this day as we hold each of you here firmly within the heart of Christ and securely upon the hands of God. Dearly beloved beings of all parts of the light, the dimmer and the brighter, for beloved ones, it is all light. As always, we deliver a message of inspiration and hope through an energy frequency of love extended from our essence. No matter if you listen or read these words, you will feel our essence and vibrational frequency as you tap into the essence of love, of the self and all else, and through that be able to extend and open yourself up to embrace the love extended to you from all that is. Beloved ones, the essence of light and dark is a topic for intense discussion which we shall attempt to touch on over time. At this time, you are experiencing the eclipse, the darkening of your sun. The sun is the essence of light and energy that brings forth its magnificent vibrational frequency to enhance that which is alive on terra firma. The sun brings life, she is the star of your system as it is known. She brings all to life light and physically she shines her light upon you. When the sun goes into an eclipse and is blocked off by the moon, beloveds, even though there is the shadow that passes across its reflection, it by no means lessens its light or slows down its life-giving frequency. Symbolically and metaphysically, the action of this, of letting the darkness slide across the light, is in many ways a metaphor for your own life, as this is a great time of cleansing and purging. It is a fantastic time from an energetic point to release the ties that binds you to the past, or that binds, anchors, you to a restricted space that won't allow you the time of day, thus prevents you from bursting forth to be the immaculate self, which in fact you already are. This energy requires an in-depth checkup if you wish, thus to create a checklist of things that you feel is still not within balance. As this is a planetary event, it affects everyone alike, consciously or unconsciously, thus we suggest that you hold these intentions for the rest of your brothers and sisters and your planet. Set the intent for these intense frequencies of death and rebirth anchored within your time to be experienced as a change-over of energy, as with Easter the reflection of death and Wesak reflecting birth. Extend these awakening frequencies of light to all upon your planet. Darkness has no power over you lest you give it that. A room is only dark until you light a candle, and once the candle is lit, that light holds the frequency of vision so that you may physically see the light all around. You have within the self various energy bodies, chakras, and within your auric field and even more etheric bodies. Your physical acts on the etheric and the etheric reflects your physical, and through that entire system of light, beloved ones, you shine like a beacon. You shine the most beautiful, brightest light no matter whether your candle is lit or not, as that light is you, shining from within, without, and from without, within. This light is noticeable wherever you go, day or night, at times of joy or darkness, thus which you may perceive to be a time of shadow. The shadow only extends as far as the light allows it to. When you allow the reflection of the light from your sun to cast your shadow onto the earth, once the sun sets, that shadow is no more, yet its reflection remains. Metaphor, thus as I always said, learn to dance with your shadow. There is such controversy at this time when it comes to the outplaying of light and dark. It is therefore imperative, especially at times of despair, to understand that darkness has no hold over you, it cannot do anything to you, except that which you allow it to. The codes of expansion. The earth receives her energies from the sun, and even though there may be a shadow effect cast upon the sun during an eclipse, that remains. Therefore, the energy frequencies extended to you never diminishes or withers. It is up to you to integrate, work with, and embrace this, and through dedication allow the self to expand from it. Work with the codes of expansion within the New You meditation that we took you through a number of years ago, for those that followed our work over the years, which we will soon repeat. In fact, we will ask this channel to include some information on these codes which many be integrated and experienced in your own way. It is the greater understanding of love that allows you to do so. Note, I have included this info at the bottom of this channel, Chanel. Always hold the frequency of light and love in your heart no matter which of your darkest hours you are facing. Within darkness there is immense light. Within complete blackness, as in the void, there is light. That light is you. It is therefore pretty obvious that at times when venturing into these deep levels of extended consciousness that you must never fear, for within any and all darkens you hold the light. This transformational time you are in asks you to get excited. Become anew. Pay attention to the key date events as integration and manifestation is powerful. Hold in your heart the dream essence that you wish to create and let this become your reality. Do so by bringing it in through the third eye and expressing it through the heart, as always. Note, details on this in the next channel. At times like this the energy around the planet becomes so amplified and powerful that it allows you to gently move into a deeper understanding of the void, the veil, the abyss, of all which, presumably, according to you, separates you from worlds within worlds. Beloved ones, we move amongst you. We move past you, we bump into you and you into us, but because you are render yourself unable to register our frequency you say we don't, yet we extend our frequencies to you nonetheless. Senses and the sun. Like the energy of the sun that continues during an eclipse, so do we continually share our energy and our light essence with you even though your lower senses may not agree. The 5 senses of human awareness that you have been blessed with are the most exquisite tools extended to humanity to navigate the self through a survival and expansion system. But when you combine those with the extended knowingness of the element essence of earth, water, fire, air and ether, that is when you allow the self to step through the gateways of consciousness which previously prevented you from tapping into worlds beyond worlds. These gifts of extended knowingness are again extended through this gateway period we are speaking of currently, from Easter through to after the new moon in Taurus. This repeats itself from the middle of July through to mid-August, and again later in the year when eclipse season returns. Eclipses are an extremely important time of introspection, fine-tuning your desires, wants, manifestations, bringing all of that which you desire to the table as you place your order within the universal kitchen, so to speak. It is a time to focus on that which you wish to create and set the intention for it to come into being. Do not allow your shadow self to overshadow you in the sense of you fearing your own darkness, which creates the opposite. The planet needs your love, it doesn't need you to save it, nor the humans on it. Save yourself and all is transformed. If one person at a time commits to bring their energy into a new frequency of balance and alignment, all is saved. You are beautiful beyond words, and no matter your beliefs about the shadow within, the light that shines within as without always prevails. When facing what you term to be your shadow, how do you feel about that? What would be the first thing that you think of as I speak these words? I can guarantee you the first thing that comes to mind is usually the last you should think about. It sets the self in retrograde, so to speak. Put that thought last on your list, and move the last to the top of the list. Within tiny crevices of consciousness and brain function there 2 bruised pockets of darkness as you refuse to shine your light upon it. We dare you to shine your light, to allow the things that you feel to be your biggest drawback become the inspiration for your complete transformation. Where you perceive there to be darkness, cast your light. Instead of fearing or complaining about the dark, cast you light upon it. Use your positive frequency to dissolve the negative connotation surrounding that which you profess to be of the dark. Let me clarify here, in this discourse I am not discussing evil, I am speaking about your shadow, thus that which you need to face, for very often within that shadow therein lies the greatest gifts which can only come to the fore once you peeled off the layers of its pungent onion. You are an extension of Creator light, you cannot exist without it, thus remember this especially at times when you feel that you can be no more. Embrace your shadow. Activation. Visualize yourself standing outside with the rays of the sun bathing you from behind. Let it cast a shadow of your shadow self on the earth. Pause. Once you are comfortable, allow your shadow self to become an extension of you. In other words, see yourself manifest as yourself within the shadow aspect of yourself, extended a couple of meters beyond the self. Pause. Now visualize your shadow getting up from the ground standing facing you. Pause. Extend your hands towards your shadow as you come to greet your shadow. Pause. Where the light and the dark come together, it creates a magnificent frequency of love. Allow this gift to create an electrical spark within that hand grip, the holding of hands. See these sparks of light travel into your shadow self and into yourself. Allow the shadow and the embodiment of you to be filled with many explosions of light from top to toe, like a magical explosion of trillion of sparks of light. Pause. Feel this vibration within yourself, and extend this to your shadow. Pause. Now look into the eyes of your shadow self, your eyes. For a moment bring your attention to your own eyes, you know what they look like. Pause. Hold the reflection of the light within your shadow self within your eyes as your shadow self embraces the light within your eyes. Pause. Now gently step towards and embrace each other. Pause. In so doing, beloved ones, make peace with that which you believe to be your enemy. Pause. Acknowledge it, give thanks to it, but don't give it your power. Set the intent for your perceived enemy to leave if it must. This will give you the ability to experience a fresh new start. Bring to mind that which hinders you and prevents you from excelling. See this not as your darkest energy, but rather see it for the experience of it too, thus a supporting tool that now allows you to excel, burst forth, and step into a new pathway of light so that you may go explore, knowing that the balance within creates balance without, and no longer need you fear your darker frequency, nor run away from your shadow, or be interrogated by it, or live according to conditions set by something that has no power, unless you give it so. Don't treat presumably dark energy or shadow self with malice, negativity and anger, for we have said time and again, love that which you need to let go of, because by loving it, you give power to the self over it, and by hating it you give power unto it which holds you within its clutches. It is only by loving something and thanking it for being it in your life and acknowledging the experience and frequencies that it bathed you in, that you find the gift of light within its deepest darkest parts. The hold starts weakening, and thus the vibrational frequency of what you believed it was, and what it truly is, sets in motion a new tone for you to see things in the light where it can no longer control you, ever. It is important to keep working on this. Embrace your shadow, see this infusion of light within as without. If you are as light, how can you ever be in darkness? Beloveds, allow the transition of the shadow moving across your sun to symbolically be a shadow moving across your life so that you may finally learn to dance with it. Together you can create anew, and therefore acknowledge that all it is, are various frequencies of light. When those of dimmer light and lower frequencies interrogates you, sit them down, shine a light upon them, see the light in their eyes, take their hands and embrace them, symbolically. Control creates separation. By integrating the yin-yang of the self, thus by holding the power of light and dark within the essence of your light and love, fear none. As a Christ being, the true dark can never be again, for wherever you are there too is light. This is what the Aquarian Gateway is all about, which you are steadily transcending over many years, decades, lives, and longer. Therefore, remain true to the self. Stop criticizing and judging the self and others, for when you do, you give the shadow self power to express over you. Tap into your internal light and embrace that which you shy away from by allowing love to bring peace into your world, and you are transformed. May the light of the living Christ burn brightly within you, and may you know that not now or not ever can you be alone. Until we meet again, I am 𝐇𝐢𝐠, I am the Lord and Master Kohan of the golden rays of love and wisdom, and I greet and bless thee in light, Adonai.